Hello top notchers, how are you doing guys? I hope you are doing great and amazing. I love your beautiful face. So بنكمل مع بعض كورس الجامعة الأمريكية المستوى الخامس المحاضرة الثانية. Okay, Unit 9 Session 2. طبعا we discussed the last session. The first lesson was discuss schedules and buy tickets و book travel services. وعرفنا كل ال verbs اللي احنا بنستخدمها وخدنا شوية grammar وحاجات لذيذة كده. Lesson number 3 lesson number 4 بتوع النهاردة understand the airport announcements and describe transportation problems. So let's go. So lesson number 3 understand airport announcements. ازاي تفهم الإعلانات بتاعة المطار. So عندنا airline passenger information. Alright, so when someone is leaving or هيرحل خلاص أو يغادر, alright, depart, اسمه depart, okay? Arrive, alright, someone came from a trip, alright, or got back from a trip. Take off, تقلع الطائرة, okay? الطائرة تقلع, okay? Land, بتهبط الطائرة, okay? Go through security, تتفتش, alright? Go through security, تتفتش. Alright, so the gate, عندنا gate. an agent, ده الايجنت اللي بيتعامل معاك وبيشوف الباسبورت بتاعك وكده. A boarding pass اهو boarding pass التذكرة اللي انت تقلع بيها, alright. A passenger انت راكب الباسنجر و the departure long اللي هي ايه ساحة الانتظار, okay. طيب some flight problems ممكن تبقى في مشكلة مع الرحلة اللي انت رايحها. The flight is overbooked يعني the airline sold too much tickets so some passengers can't board, right? يبقى خلاص يبقى هي كده اتحجزت أكتر, okay, من عددها. Overbooked. The flight is delayed. الرحلة اتأخرت, okay? So the flight will depart late, okay? So الرحلة تتأخر شوي. The flight is cancelled. اتلغت بقى. The passengers have to find another flight. Just go to find another flight, okay? دي vocabs, some vocabs, okay? Just listen to the audios. طيب use the vocabulary دي أنا استخدمها دلوقتي مع announcement ده, okay? Let's go. When you arrive at the airport, you should take your luggage to the check-in counter and get your boarding pass, right? تاخد البوردنج باس بتاعك. Then you can have to put all their hand luggage on the belt. So then you can go through security تتفتش where passengers have to put all their hand luggage on the belt. From there you should go to your plane is departing from. So you should go to the gate your plane is departing from. Okay, if you are early and your plane hasn't landed or arrived at the gate, just have a seat in the departure long, right? Alright, when your flight is called, you can show your boarding pass to the agent, okay, and get on the plane. Be sure to turn off all electronic devices and put on your seat belt, okay, before your plane takes off from the gate. Enjoy the takeoff and have a good flight. This is the announcement of the airport, and we already used the words here on the vocabulary, okay? So this is a good exercise. Listen and comprehension برضو هتتشيك هنا تسمع الاوديو وبعد كده تشوف الانونسمنتس وتشيك the travel problems وتشوف المشكلات flight is overbooked or cancelled or delayed. What's the problem in here? Okay? طيب برضو listen for details and the flight information. هيقول flight information هنا كل passenger just do it, okay? This is an exercise, just fucking do it, okay? Type intonation for stating alternatives. Well, you could take the train or the bus, right? So intonation هنا rise in intonation for the train with the bus be a low intonation. So, well, you could take the train or the bus. They could wait or reserve the later flight. Okay, would you like one way or round trip? Okay, this is the intonation for alternatives. Okay, listen to the audios as well. Alright, so that's it. So خدنا كان some vocabs about the flight and you know they are playing passenger information. ايه اللي بيحصل في المطار. اوكي وهكذا. Right, والمشكلات اللي بتقابلنا في الرحلات. Lesson number 4. Lesson number 4 describe transportation problems. مشكلة المواصلات بقى. اوكي ايه اللي حصل مع الباص، ايه اللي حصل مع البلين، ايه اللي حصل مع الحاجات دي. اوكي. Transportation problems. Whether we had an accident, oh my god forbid يعني. So we had an accident, عملنا حادثة. We had mechanical problems, مشاكل ميكانيكية. We missed our train. Missed ال ED endings. اوعى. We missed our train. We got bumped from the flight. We got seasick or car sick or air sick. اوكي اللي هو الترجيع والحاجات اللي بتحصل في الفوميتنج والحاجات اللي بتحصل في السفينة او انت في البحر او كده. ف got seasick or car sick or air sick حسب الحاجة اللي انت بتتعب منها يعني. listen and comprehension برضه هتسمع الاوديوز. اوكي وال listen and comprehension 5 speakers هيتكلمهم وهيوصفوا المشكلات اللي هم قابلوها، فتكتب الحاجة ديت من الفوكابز دي. اوكي reading. My best thing ever, reading. Alright, I love reading so much. Alright, so our paragraph of the day here, or the paragraph that we have here, got bumped from a flight. Someone got bumped from a flight. Maybe it's not bad after all. It's not so bad after all. As most travelers know, airlines commonly overbook flights because of the large and predictable number of no-shows. People who have reservations but don't show up for the flight, overbooking helps airlines limit the number of empty seats on their flights. However, if a flight is overbooked, some passengers with confirmed reservations have to get off the plane. Getting bumped isn't always a bad thing. However, there is a growing number of passengers who feel lucky if their flight is overbooked. Why? Because airlines have to provide bumped passengers with cash, free flights, hotels, and or meals to compensate them for their inconvenience. In fact, airlines usually ask for volunteers to get off an overbooked flight in exchange for those perks. And many passengers say sure and happily decline. Some people even make a habit of choosing flights that are likely to be overbooked just so they can volunteer. And it's pretty mean, but it's very, very fucking tricky, right? الموضوع ايه عنها؟ got bumped from a flight. اوكي يعني نزلت من على الرحلة او الرحلة كانت overbooked وانت اضطريت تنزل من على الرحلة وواحد تاني ياخد مكانك. Maybe it's not too bad after all. Okay, so as most travelers know, دايما انتوا عارفين airlines commonly overbook flights. يعني الشركات الجوية عادة بت overbook الفلايت. اوكي بتخلي عدد الحجز اكتر عشان في ناس تانية بتلغي. اوكي large number. اوكي ناس كتير predictable number of no shows. في ناس ما بتظهرش. People who have reservations but don't show up, right? So for the flight, overbooking helps airlines بتساعد الشركات ديت limit the number of empty receipts on their flights. However, if a flight is overbooked, طب ايه اللي حصل بقى لو overbooked و some passengers with confirmed reservations و already passengers اللي هم حجزوا دول قبل كده جم وعاوزين يسافروا have to get off the plane. لازم ينزلوا من على الطيارة. Okay, getting pumped isn't always a bad thing. فهو مش حاجة وحشة يعني. However, there's a growing number of passengers who feel lucky if their flight is overbooked. Okay, في ناس تانية بتعجبها الموضوع وتبقى محظوظة اللي هي flight is overbooked. ليه؟ Why? Because airlines have to provide pumped passengers. الناس اللي بتنزل دي بقى ايه بيحصل معاهم؟ with cash. بيوفر لهم cash بدون فلوس. free flights بدون رحلات تانية free. hotels يعني بلاش ايه ده. and or meals كمان وجبات to compensate them عشان يعوضوهم. compensate يعوض them for their inconvenience. alright لعدم الراحة بتاعتهم دي. سلام. In fact, airlines usually ask for volunteers. يعني هم الشركات دي أصلا بتسأل عن متطوعين. volunteers يعني متطوعين to get off an overbooked flight in exchange بالمقابل for those perks الحاجات الحلوة دي. Okay, and many passengers say sure and happily decline. Of course بينزلهم عادي جدا وبيستمتعوا بالحاجات الفري. Some people even make a habit في ناس تانية بتعملها عادة for choosing flights that are likely to be overbooked، فين انها هتبقى overbooked وهتبقى محجوزة اكتر so they can enjoy or they can volunteer with the plane، وبعد كده يستفيدوا بالbenefits free cash free flights hotel meals. What a life man. Driver blames GPS for train crash. عندنا هنا موضوع تاني. Driver blames GPS for train crash. So the Bedford Hills, this is a city. Last night, Edward Carter, 43, of White Plains, told police that his car's global positioning system (GPS) ده اختصار ل GPS اسمها global positioning system. Okay, instructed him to make a wrong turn directly onto the train tracks in Bedford Hills, where when he turned, his car became stuck on the track and he had to abandon the car. In a statement to the police, the man said he was driving north with his son on the Sawmill Parkway at about 8 p.m. They planned to go to a restaurant on Route 117. Following the instructions from his GPS unit, he exited the parkway at Green Lane. But then, instead of driving to Route 117 and turning right there, he made a very wrong turn. He turned right at the railroad tracks. The man and his son tried to move the car off the tracks, but they couldn't. Shortly afterward, a Metro North commuter train hit Mr. Carter's car. Luckily, there were no deaths or injuries. Police say that drivers need to pay attention to the road, not the GPS unit. Alright, so the driver بيلوم okay blames. الدرايفر هنا blames يعني يلوم GPS for train crash, okay, and it definitely his fault. Alright, so Bedford Hills last night, Edward Carter, 43, of White Plains, told police that his car's global positioning system اللي هي GPS, okay, instructed him to make a wrong turn directly onto the train tracks. يعني هو اللي غصبه اللي هو ياخد التيرن الغلط ده, okay, in Bedford Hills. Alright, when he turned, his car became stuck. اتعلقت, okay, أو مش راضية تخرج مكانها on the track. Alright, يعني اتزنقت في التراك بتاع railroad track اللي هو railroad track اللي هو السكة الحديد, and he had to abandon the car, leave the car, okay. In a statement to the police, the man said he was driving north with his son. كان رايح north with his son to the Sawmill Parkway at about 8 p.m. They planned to go to a restaurant on Route 117. كانوا رايحين مطعم. Following the instructions from the GPS unit, وطبعا بيتبع الخطوات أو التعليمات بتاعة GPS, he exited the parkway at Green Lane. But then, instead of driving to Route 117, he turned right there. He made a very wrong turn. ده كان turn غلط, كان محور غلط. He turned right at the railroad tracks. مش Route 117, بقى نروح Route 117 اللي هو كان عاوزه. هو راح على السكة الحديد. The man and his son tried to move the car off the tracks. كانوا بيحاولوا يحركوا العربية ولكن هم معرفوش, but they couldn't. Shortly afterward, a Metro North commuter train hit Mr. Carter's car. Luckily, there were no deaths or injuries. Police say that drivers need to pay attention to the road, not the GPS unit. Okay, that's good. That's it, guys. So you have to listen to these paragraphs a lot. Okay, خلي بالك من pronunciation, خلي بالك من ال endings بتاعت ال words. وزي ما قلنا 10 أسرار لتحسين اللغة الإنجليزية. اسمع الفيديو ده, okay, because it says a lot. Okay, بيقول حاجات كتير جدا مهمة. Alright, so based on the reading and your own ideas, discuss the following topics. Idea, okay, مش idea, لا, idea. Alright, stress عليها كده. Why do you think people with confirmed reservation become no-shows? This is your answer, يعني your own ideas, okay. ليه انت تعتقد ان الناس اللي هي confirmed reservations معاها already حجزة قبل كده become no-shows? Why do you think that? What are some advantages of getting pumped? Alright, ايه هي المميزات اللي انت getting pumped from a train, from the plane, okay, or from the flight? Would you volunteer to get off an overbooked flight? Of course I will, yeah. What are some advantages of GPS systems? What are some disadvantages? ايه هي المميزات بتاعت GPS system وايه هي العيوب? Do you prefer GPS systems or paper maps? هل بتفضل الجي بي اس سيستم انت تستخدمه ولا بتفضل البيبر مابس اللي هي الخرائط الورق، اوكي، اللي هي القديمه دي، right؟ مش التكنولوجيا يعني. Alright, so be sure to recycle this language, man. So problems, عندنا the flight was terrible, the drive was terrible or awful, you know, or you know, terrible or awful or horrible, right? Adjectives خدنا كتير. They were unfriendly, the people were unfriendly, the people were cold, right? فاكرين. They cancelled my flight, alright, or they cancelled my trip. They didn't work, alright, the laptop didn't work, the cell phone didn't work, alright, the TV didn't work. They lost my wallet, somebody stole my wallet. The music drove me crazy. The flight was bumpy, scary, وهكذا. The drive was long or boring, right? Responses, what was wrong with the flight? What was wrong with the bus? What was wrong with the car? I'm sorry to hear that. That's a shame. Too bad. Okay, لما تيجي ترد على حد مر بتجربة سيئة. Bad experience. Okay, let's move on to the review, and that's gonna be the last thing in our session today. Listening comprehension. هنا برضو هتشوف الجدول البسيط ده. Listen, do you look at the departure board? Okay. That is the lesson again. I use reasoning to determine if each statement is true or false. شوف بقى تسمع وتشوف true or false. Okay, so complete each statement with the correct word or phrase. استخدم الفوكابز اللي احنا خدناها في الوحدة ديت ونحل عليها. It's important to make early because it can be difficult to find a room after you arrive. So it's important to make a reservation early, okay? Because it can be difficult to find a room after you arrive. When your whole family is going to the airport together, you can reserve it's usually very comfortable and has a space for all of your luggage. So you can reserve a limo, right? Or a limousine, right? So it can be convenient to use if you want to drive but can't bring your own car. So it's be convenient to use a rental car. Do you think I should take the train? I know it's much faster, but I'm not sure it stops at my station on weekends. So do you think I should take the local, the express train? I know it's much faster than the local, of course, but I'm not sure it stops at my station on weekends. My husband always gets seat. He likes to get up and walk around on long flights, so he always gets an aisle seat. Okay, الممر مقعد في الممر. Okay, I hope it's a flight. I get really scared every time the plane takes off or lands. So I hope it's a non-stop flight. Okay, لأن بتخاف كل شوية طبعا البلين أو الطيارة بتقلع وبتهبط. Okay, في عاوزات تهبط مرة واحدة وتطلع مرة واحدة. It's a non-stop flight. It's not a non-stop. Okay, but it's direct flight. You don't have to change planes, but the plane stops twice, so it's a direct plane. Are you kidding? That was the last flight just 10 minutes ago. They said it was here and ready to board. So are you kidding? They canceled it. لغوها. Okay, they just was 10 minutes ago and they already announced about it. The airline, the flight, and when I got to the gate, the agent said another passenger had my seat. I had such bad luck. So the airline overbooked the flight. So when I got to the gate, the agent said another passenger had my seat. راكب تاني خد مكاني. So I had such a bad luck. So it was overbooked. Okay. Complete the conversation with be going to. القاعدة اللي احنا خدناها في السيشن اللي فاتت. Okay. Be going to. Alright. To about the future plan. Okay. Or certain knowledge about the future. Right. So on Saturday, we're going to leave for Cancun. Really? Are you going to rent a car there? There are some great places to explore. No, I think we're going to stay on the beach and rest. By the way, where are you and Margot going to go for your vacation? Where are you and Margot going to go for your vacation? I'm not sure, but I'm going to travel to Bangkok on business next month, and I'm going to take a few days off to go sightseeing. I hear it's great. Okay, so that's it, guys. So finish the preview. So write an exercise هنا الباراجراف بتاعك اللي انت هتكتبه و it's exercise. Okay, so you can use all these vocabs on writing عشان ما تنساهاش. On a separate sheet of paper write 2 paragraphs. مطلوب منك 2 paragraphs not one. One about your most recent trip and one about your next trip. واحدة عن trip انت already عملتها قبل كده وواحدة عن trip انت نفسك تطلعها. Okay, وهتuse going to هنا. In the first paragraph, describe the transportation you took and write about any problems you had. In the second paragraph, write about the transportation you plan to take, use, be, going to. Okay, so it's pretty good. All right, it's pretty good exercise and was a pretty good unit. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. So now you can discuss schedules and buy tickets, book travel services, understand the airport announcements, and describe transportation problems. I did my job, you do yours. Okay, انا عملت شغلي كده. يبقى انت كده لازم اللي عليك اللي انت تسمع الاوديوز. خلص سيشن من هنا تروح تسمع الاوديوز والتي في you know تي في top notch تي في. Okay, وتسمع short stories. Alright, just keep fucking listening. Alright, practice makes progress, guys. Practice makes progress. Comment below #practice. Okay, or practice makes progress عشان نحتفل مع بعض ونسليبريت مع بعض اللي انت وصلت للمستوى الخامس so far. اوكي، ونخلص ان شاء الله فاضل 2 sessions ونخلص المستوى الخامس. اوكي، ونكون خلصنا الكتاب ده كله. اوكي، ونبدأ في كتاب جديد بعد كده. Alright, so just keep fucking going, guys. Keep learning, keep growing. Alright, just don't quit, don't ever stop. Alright, just keep fucking going because that's the deal. Alright, this is how it works. Right, just like a muscle. هي زي العضلات بالظبط. The more you exercise, the more it grows. You exercise it, the more it grows. لو سبتها يعني لازم تمرنها هتكبر. اوكي، وهتعمل جسم وهتعمل فورمة زي ما انت عاوز. طيب لو سبتها وبطلت تمرنها خلاص you're gonna هتهبط منك اوكي، يبقى جسمك بقى خلاص هيرخي، فبالتالي مش هتقدر تعمل اي مجهود بعد كده زي ما كنت بتعمله في الاول. Right, so just keep fucking going. I love you all so much, top notchers. You have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.